Hello guys, welcome to Daddy Share Space and welcome to my channel. So today I'm coming to you with another unboxing. So I recently picked up the Festool CSX 12 drill and I was curious about the CSX 18, which is a new addition to the Festool line. Now I already have here the C18 drill, which I purchased secondhand a while ago. And so I wanted to actually do a quick comparison about this particular drill in relationship to the drill that's in this sustainer here. Now this drill here, I've always found it kind of awkward to hold. I know you can use the whole finger pointing type of technique with this, but I do find like you can fit your hand on the inside of the drill like this. However, it doesn't feel super ergonomic when I hold it like this for some reason. Now it does feel a little bit better when you actually hold the drill like this and you activate the trigger with, let's say, these two fingers or either your second or third finger. However, it's kind of a heavier drill for that type of application. I kind of feel like the CSX is a better fit for that. So this is the full 18 or the C18, and in here we have the C18 XS. Now let me just set this to the side here and let's go ahead and open up the box and see what's on the inside. So first off, you see we have the sustainer with the storage. You can actually store bits and everything in here, which I like these new sustainers. The Festool CSX 12 also came with a sustainer like this, as well as the TID. So I do like that added feature, so you can take your bits with you if you'd like. So opening up the sustainer, as you can see here, let me get that receipt out of there. We have obviously the warranty inclusive here. We have our manual, and then we have the drill. And the drill actually does come, this particular kit that I bought, it did not have a battery. So let me just take that off for a second. It actually came with just the drill and the Jacobs chuck. And you also get a belt clip holder that comes with the package. So this setup here is only about $249, so it is the cheapest way to get this drill. If you were to purchase this drill with two batteries and a charger, it would cost you about $499. So you save a nice amount of money if you already have batteries in your shop. Now just getting a feel, let's take off the Jacobs chuck and take a look at it. To be quite honest, in a previous video that I just recently uploaded, I had to explain that the CSX 12 does fit the right angle. I think it is the AN Uni right angle chuck. And to be quite honest, the way that I figured that out was I had the CSX 12 out, and when I unboxed this originally checking it out, I looked at it and I was like, well, it's exactly the same. And you can look there and see that it's exactly the same. So I actually tried this right angle CSX adapter on this drill as well as the smaller one, and I found that it fits. So that made me go back to this particular drill and try it out, and sure enough, it does fit. So setting the CSX 12 back to the side, let's get back into the C18. So just taking a look at it. Now, something I have to say about this particular drill, it actually feels pretty good in the hand. Now you can still do that whole method where you actually use the finger to point and guide your stuff, or to guide your the drill or your whatever driver or whatever fastener that you're going to utilize with this particular device. And I think that that's pretty comfortable. Now, what I like in this too is the original Festool CSX. This actually feels pretty good in the hand on both, as far as having my full hand in there and using it as a conventional drill. However, I also have that method to be able to use with the finger pointing, that's what I call it, application. And so the C18 feels very much like this older CSX, the original one. And whereas this particular drill, as I spoke before, this is the CSX 12, it makes me feel like my fingers are cramped when I hold it in this orientation. So if I wanted to hold the drill in this standard orientation where you have your trigger finger on the trigger, both the CSX 18 and the CSX, the original CSX, both of those feel very comfortable in over the CSX 12 in my personal opinion. Now they all feel fairly similar when I use this type of method of holding the drill. I still would say that for some reason this original CSX feels a little bit more ergonomic in the hand. This one feels ergonomic, but it feels a little bit more, I would say, I guess, utilitarian. This one, it almost, I don't know. I mean, I guess there's probably the taper right around on this portion here. It kind of really feels like purposeful around your hand, whereas this particular one, it just kind of feels like, you know, you're wrapping your hands and fingers like you can kind of get up and around the drill any kind of way that you want. Whereas this one here, this taper, especially here on the back, kind of helps you to understand that this is where your hands are supposed to be placed on this drill. And if you look at it, both the CSX 12 and the CSX 18 have that similar taper and design. Now let's put the battery on the CSX 18 to check the heights. So all right, right here you've got your CSX 18, there's your CSX 12, and then finally there's your original CSX. So putting them in order of height, basically the CSX 18 is quite a bit taller than both of the other CSX 12 or the CSX 10.8 and the CSX 12. And then if I pull out the CSX 18, you can see that it's taller still. So you kind of get an idea of the sizes of these drills. Let me turn them around in different orientations so you can kind of look at them and get an idea of what they look like from the back. And then let's turn them back around again so you can look at them from the front. So before I purchased my Milwaukee install driver, I had never had an experience with the drill with this particular portion here. Over time, I've grown to like it. I switch often from holding my drill in this fashion and this fashion as I see fit with the particular drilling application. So I don't really have a strong preference as to whether I would choose a C handle drill over a T handle drill. Now down here I've got the TID, and this also feels fine in the hand as far as, you know, the ergonomics of it. So when I use the different drills, now as I stated before, this one here feels, this is the C18, this one feels the most awkward in the hand. And even though if I hold it in this orientation here, it feels fine, I do feel like there's a lot of weight over on this portion of the drill, you know, so I can see myself getting a little bit fatigued using the drill in this orientation. So I think for all this is now, you know, I'm not the beefiest guy, but the reality of the matter is the idea of this C18 is great, but I think the ergonomics of the actual weight and using it in this fashion where you're actually pushing in your fasteners from the back with one hand, it could be a little bit fatiguing over time. Now, to compare that, the C18 is a little bit better. It feels more ergonomic than the CSX 18, forgive me, is a little bit better, and it feels more ergonomic than this C18 drill. However, I will also say that the way that this drill is built, I still feel like there's quite a bit of weight on this end, and I think the extension, even though it makes it more comfortable to use in this fashion, like if I'm holding it say sideways like this, which, you know, maybe a lot of people don't, but you know, there may be a time when you actually want to hold it like this, then I feel that there's a little bit more strain on my arm if I'm holding it like this. Now if I hold it with now I'm using my non-dominant hand, but this is my dominant hand, it feels fine going in like this. It feels a lot more comfortable in my dominant hand going in from the back like this, but I can still feel that counterbalance going this way. So, you know, when you hold it up high up here, I don't necessarily feel the like that it's perfectly balanced. Like if you were to set it like this, I don't feel like the drill is perfectly balanced on the side application. Now this application here is perfectly fine going in from this angle. I don't have any issue or any complaints about that. Now, stepping down to the CSX, the original CSX, light, a lot better to get in sideways and on both hands. So that's where I would recommend this CSX, the original CSX, and this one as well. It's very lightweight, compact. You just kind of, in my opinion, this drill is more intentional about using it in this orientation here as opposed to these other drills. These other drills with the opening right here gives you the ability, if you want to use it like a conventional drill, because you got plenty of space for your fingers there. So that's what I would say is the difference between these drills and the CSX 12. Now, so far looking at them, which drill would I reach for first? At this point, to be 100% frank, if power is not an issue, I'm probably going to reach for the original CSX first. This is going to be the first drill that I reach for. But if I still want that lightweight, but just a little bit more power, then I would probably go for this 12, because it gives me a smaller footprint, but it also gives me a little bit more power, or a power improvement over the original CSX. Now, the only way that I would reach for this particular C18XS, with me having them in the shop and holding them in my hand, is if these two drills feel underpowered for the application. That is when I would actually grab this particular drill here, because there have been times when I was making a project and using different types of fasteners and basically moving between these three drills here, and there were times where the CSX just was not quite, it didn't feel like it had the oomph that I needed for that particular project. And so then I would bump up to this, and I have found this to be a comparable in the drill driver mode to be very good if this is not getting the job done. Now, I would be curious over time as I use these two drills here to see if these will actually put me in a position where I reach for the C18 less. So, as I've spoken before, you know, I really do like the Fast Fix connection. I know a lot of people, you know, don't really subscribe to it or think that it's super valuable, but I personally like it. And I've grown my collection of Festool drills because I actually want to know and have the experience to see what I like best in my shop. I'm not really trying to compare with what someone else says. And, you know, quite often times, like, you know, when I'll go into the store, you know, and you're looking around, sometimes, you know, people come up and, you know, keep asking you questions. So you don't really get an opportunity to really, you know, let your hair down and really get a feel for the tools. So fortunately, I've been in a position where I've been able to acquire these tools, and it's given me a good reference. And over time, I'll come back and I'll talk about, you know, if I like this one or which one I like to use the most in the shop. Now, as you can see here, I have basically one T-handle drill and 4 C-handle drills. Now, I do also have the Festool Impact here. I bought that in the kit here. So as far as Festool drills, I believe there's only 2 more that that I would have to collect in order to be able to do a full range comparison, and that would be I believe it's the T18, which would be this version of the drill that is in the T-handle shape. I watched a video, Festool UK, and they basically said that that drill is actually a little bit more powerful. I believe the comparison is like a 45 millimeter fastener to 40 millimeter fastener. So I am curious to see about that one. I believe that drill's probably around $300 without all the extras. And then the other drill would be the Festool CSX, the Festool TSX 18 drill. And I do plan on probably picking up both of those over the span of time, because, you know, for me personally, I want to know which one I like the best. I want to be able to articulate why that is. It's just, you know, I guess you could call that part a hobby for me. You know, I know for a lot of people that may not be, you know, economical, but, you know, I'm having fun with this as far as being able to express my opinion here on YouTube and grow with the tools as I have them. Now, of course, I have, you know, a collection of other drills that I have, and that's fine, but so far I'm enjoying my time with this Festool lineup of drills and drill drivers. Now, before I actually let you go, let's take a closer look at the new addition to the shop, which is the CSX 18. So we'll leave these here, and just taking a look at it, you can attach the belt fastener, the belt hook, on either side of the drill. You have a light that you can turn on. So down here in this portion here, you have a selector, so I can turn it on to light, and when I activate the drill, the light comes on and it shines up onto your workspace. You've got a battery indicator here on the base of the battery. This is a brushless EC Tech motor inside of here. You've got your speed or your forward and reverse selector here, your trigger, which is variable speed. You have both a 1, which is going to be a lot more of a powerful or higher torque setting, and then you have your faster for smaller fastener, smaller drilling applications in the 2 section. And what else can I say about this tool? You do have magnetic bit holding capability on the front of the drill here. And obviously, if you use this with the Bluetooth battery, you can activate your dust extractor with it. So, you know, it's pretty much a no frills drill as far as, like, you know, when you compare it to the rest of the Festool line. I wouldn't say that there's much of a difference other than size when you compare it to the CSX 12. Since I did purchase these very close together, I'm looking forward to trying them both out in small projects and different tasks that I have here in my shop. And I will definitely report back and say, okay, I like this more, and it'll probably be more small updates as I'm actually using the drill. I think that that's all I want to say about this Festool CSX. You know, I just basically do at this time unboxings and overviews of the tools that I purchase, and I just share that information with you guys. Over time, when I have time in the shop, I will work with these tools, and then I'll continue to give you more feedback in regards to how I feel about the tools. Before I do get out of here, as I said, the Festool CSX does come with this plastic Jacobs chuck, and I actually was watching a guy's video. I think he has the T18 drill, and it came with a plastic Jacobs chuck as well, and he said he wore it out and he replaced it with the metal chuck that came with this TID, and he said that it was a worthy upgrade. So that's good information to know. But there's also a couple more attachments that I want to get for this Festool system. One of those being the drywall attachment, which I want to compare against my drywall gun that I have, that's the Festool drywall gun, and the other one being the attachment so that you can set your screws all to the same depth, where it doesn't matter what power setting or what mode that you have it in. Because of the ring, it'll give you the ability to set those screws at the exact same depth in the material, which makes it have more of an aesthetically pleasing look. Anyways, guys, I'm rambling now. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to check out these unboxings and overviews on my channel here at Daddy Share Space, and feel free to leave whatever comments, you know, in the description below. Thanks for taking time to watch the video, and I'll see you in my next one.